we have a warning, a vacation warning for when you book through something like Priceline or Booking. I don't know about Expedia. We've used them before, never had an issue, but boy, did we have an issue with this trip.
Yes, we did.
Do you want to start with a few weeks ago when we found the deal?
So a few weeks ago, we had booked a package deal for flights and a hotel, and it was great. But then we decided to switch hotels because we didn't want a party atmosphere, and the reviews said if you like puke by the pool, stay here. So we swapped out.
So this was on Priceline. We booked a flight in a hotel all together, all-inclusive resort, really good price, but we could cancel the resort. So we canceled it because we found a really good deal on another place. And it was...
Are we naming these places?
Maybe we'll name it in a minute. I don't know. It was 4 nights at a 4.5-star resort for total fees and everything around $350.
Which already had me thinking something is going to go awry with this. This can't be right. But it's also like one of those vacation club things that I thought maybe they just plunked the prices down to fill the rooms at a timeshare type resort close to the date. Yeah, we only booked this a couple weeks before.
Yeah, we decided to do this like 2 weeks ago. Really, it was kind of we had this week planned for another trip with some friends, but then they ended up not being able to go. So my parents were already coming up, so we're like, let's just go somewhere. We looked at New York, which was more expensive than here. Pretty much everywhere was more expensive than Cabo. So we booked this other resort, and it said all fees, everything included, resort fees, whatever, were included in this price, or that we would pay like $100 when we got there or something.
Yeah.
So we were really excited, and we could cancel until May 1st. Something just flew into my eye. May 1st comes and goes, no issue. Sunday, Mother's Day. We flew out Monday morning at 5 a.m. Sunday afternoon, cooking dinner for my mom, for Erica, and a Mexico number calls. I'm like, okay. So I pick up the phone, and the lady on the other line was very polite. Her name was, I'm not gonna say her name, but she was from the resort, the new resort that we booked, and she said, I wanna let you know that the price that you paid online is not the price you will pay here. When you come here, you will be paying more. There was an error. And I said, how much of an error? And she said, you will be paying, she told me the amount in pesos, but it was $1,800 American money versus $300. I said, you're kidding me, right? This is a scam. She's like, it's not a scam. I'll hang up and you can call me back if you want, just to see that it's real. So I'm like talking to her like, well, we leave tomorrow. Like, what are we supposed to do? And imagine if we had like our kids with us.
Right.
It would have been even more. It was the two of us. So we're like frantically pulling up other deals or trying to find a place, and we couldn't find any really, right? Like in that price range.
Everything had gone up because it was the night before.
Yeah, the night before. So it wasn't last minute deals. So we went back and forth, and she said the lowest she could go was $900.
Which I will say is not a bad price for a week. It wasn't all inclusive, but there were other places that you could get a better deal earlier on than that.
Sure, and she told me she was calling as a courtesy, which it was. She said, I didn't want you to show up to the resort and be caught off guard, because so many other people this has happened to. When you show up to the resort and you're caught off guard and you need to pay the extra money. So I'm like, well, let me call you back. We'll see what's going to happen here. Maybe if we're going to go with you. So then we get looking, and we're like, maybe should we just do the $900 one? Well, then I pull up the reservation, and it said free cancellation until May 1st. Well, this was May like 14th or May 10th.
We're in a time warp.
So I'm like, we're already gonna have to pay for this. And the other thing, so I call Priceline. Priceline says, this isn't done through us, this was done through booking.com. I'm like, well, I booked through Priceline, and they said, well, yeah, but we worked through Booking because we couldn't fulfill it. You need to talk to the booking.com people. So then they transfer me to Booking. I wait on hold forever. Booking comes on, and she's like, well, no, they have to honor this price. If they don't honor this price, then we'll help you, but you need to go to the hotel, or we're gonna call the hotel and see. She puts me on hold. She calls the hotel. They don't answer. She gets back on the line with me. She's like, they have to honor this price. Go there, they'll honor it. Not a big deal. I'm like, all right, they have to honor it. Hang up the phone. I'm like, then we got talking. We're like, well, what happens if they don't honor it and we get there? So then you call Hilton. Oh, I just said the name. It was the Hilton
Cabo
Azul Vacation Club in Cabo San Lucas. Warning. Oh, and not only that, we go online and what do we see?
That you can still book it for the same exact price.
Same price.
$350 on Expedia, on Priceline,
on all the sites. So we're like, well, wait, if we rebook it, are we going to have the same issue? So you call Hilton and...
I call Hilton and they basically say, this is a booking problem. This is not our problem. You need to contact them. There's nothing I can do for you, which he was very spicy to me.
This was not the local resort, right? This was the 800 number?
This was just the helpline. Very spicy, telling me, ma'am, I know how to do my job and I'm telling you there's nothing that I can do. Good day.
Not a good experience. So then I call booking.com back. The lady answers. I go through this all with her again and the phone gets disconnected as she puts me on hold. She then emails me and says, sorry, we got disconnected. The hotel has to honor your reservation. And I'm like, they've told us they're not. They're not gonna honor it.
And this is now hours into
This is like 5 or 6 o'clock at night. The day before, like less than 12 hours. I call booking.com back again. The guy answers. He says, how can I help you? I said, I really hope you can help me. Here's the problem. And he's like, no, sir. Well, what needs to happen is you need to go to the hotel and they have to honor it. If they don't honor it, call us, and then they have 45 minutes to respond to us. And if they don't respond to us within 45 minutes, we will then help you find another place. And I said, let's just, no, we don't want to.
Not only we will help you, we will email you something and we will give you
suggestions
and a small stipend for the inconvenience.
But he didn't tell us that it was a small stipend.
Well,
he just said, we'll email you and give you some money to help you find another place. I said, can you please just call the resort now so we don't have to do this all again tomorrow when we get into town, and who knows if cell phones are gonna work. So he puts me on hold for a long time, like 30 minutes. He comes back on the line and he says, we called the hotel, they could not find your reservation. So we have canceled it and we're gonna email you with some options. So they email me and they have 4 options, and they said if we booked one of those, we got over 1,000 pesos, but it was
67 American dollars extra
$67
above what we paid to help accommodate us to find something new. Less than 12 hours before we're supposed to leave for Mexico.
Right, they'd refund us. They wouldn't like give us the credit for the 300 plus the 67. It was just, here's $67, good luck. So fortunately they got it canceled. Fortunately we have a friend who works for Marriott who was able to get us a friend and family rate at another hotel, which is near where we're at now. And basically when you book through those booking.com, priceline.com, be very careful.
They say that the taxes and fees are included, but especially when you're going somewhere like there, it never hurts to make sure.
Right, we've learned that now. And we've used Priceline before and haven't really...
And we've booked Expedia vacations to Mexico, all-inclusive things, and we've never had an issue like that.
Right, but those third-party sites, I'm sure many of you have had issues. Just a warning to be careful. Fortunately, it worked out. I'm glad we found this place, thanks to our friend who was able to get us a friend and family rate, or a friend rate, because that really kind of saved us. Otherwise, we'd be paying so much more. So we're here for a few more days and we're gonna head out to the Pirates. Anyway.
And eat tacos.
Eat lots of tacos. I'm getting hungry. I'm always
getting
hungry.
burned.